Okay. Scott, I just want to make sure we have your permission to videotape you in this interview we're doing for our lifespan development class. Okay.
You have my permission.
Thank you.
Yep.
My first question is, what brought you or brings you the most happiness in your life, or is the greatest moment of joy on a moment-to-moment basis?
Yeah, so I was thinking about it, and the best example I can give was when I began my career as an athletic trainer. I worked at different high schools, and I realized that after athletes go through a traumatic injury and they get rehabilitation, sometimes they have surgery, I am the primary caregiver in returning them to their sport actively and safely, as hopefully as quick as I can. And when they get back on the field or the court, it's very, very fulfilling and rewarding to see them get back into their sport, and they know it and I know it. It's usually an unspoken thing, and usually we just make eye contact and we just know. And sometimes it's emotional for one of us or both of us, which is cool. So getting athletes to return back safely and watch them continue on and have fun in their sport.
That's great. Okay, my next question, could you tell me about a few times, a few of the major crossroads in your life, or times when you went in one direction or another and it made a large difference in how your life turned out?
Yeah, so the biggest crossroad that sticks out in my mind is slightly more recent. About 6 years ago, I got let go because of the economic crisis that hit in 2008, and my job got canceled, my whole position. So there's a lot of other things going on too in my life that made it very difficult to deal with, and had to really put faith in God and trust in Him that it was going to work out, because I didn't really want to stay in California any longer. I had been there so long, just wanted to try something new. So I transitioned to this school called Bryan College in Dayton, Tennessee, and really was apprehensive about it, being from cities I lived in were at least 1 million people big compared to Dayton, which is 30-something thousand. So I was very nervous about that, but that was a pretty neat transition in life, and I'm still very happy with it. I'm trying to think of another situation occurred about 1.5 years before that. My brother passed away, which was very unexpected, and dealing with that was difficult. But again, I had both of my parents were very. We drew a lot closer after that occurred, and my parents are closer now than they ever were because of that, sadly. But it's interesting how life traumatic events almost force some people to draw closer together. So that was a pretty big event as well. Yeah.
Okay. If you could change anything about the course of your life, what would it be?
I thought about this question for a while, and I honestly don't think I would change anything. I know that in certain experiences I've gone through, in the moment, I would say, absolutely, I wish I could have done this differently. But waiting 5-10 years later, I go back and say, you know what, now that molded me into who I am now. You know, my first thought was my undergraduate experience. I did not put forth much of an effort academically, and my grades were not terrific. So I wish I could have capitalized on that a little better and utilized the education that I had in front of me. But at the same time, you know, I did gain perseverance and having to really make an extra effort when I got to graduate school because of that. And so I feel more for individuals who have an easy time in college and they don't have to study much and it's natural for them. I actually worry about them sometimes because sometimes it's too easy and they don't learn that discipline, commitment, effort that some people have to put in.
Okay. And my last question is, what is the most rewarding thing about your life now?
What is the most rewarding thing about my life right now? Currently, having the opportunity right where I am. I was an athletic trainer for 11 years, working hours that I just absolutely, I got very burnt out on. I did not like working nights, holidays, weekends, summers, you know, every single year in, year out, 12 months out of the year, overtime hours. And now I'm a professor teaching a wonderful schedule, summers, next weekends, holidays, all off. And just being able to, but not only that, getting to educate students and seeing them move on and go and do further things in graduate school is extremely rewarding currently for me right now. And now I'm in a doctoral program that I'm telling you, 10, 15 years ago, I just would have laughed at you for even thinking you're going to be in a doctoral program. No, there's no way. But it is to solidify what I love doing right now. So I'm just kind of liking it, and it's cool that I like it so much.
Good. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Jeanette, thank you for meeting with me and answering some questions. I just want to get on the film that you have consented to be filmed during this interview.
Yes.
Cool. So my first question for you is, what has brought you the greatest sense of meaning and purpose in life, and why does it matter that you're alive?
Yeah, that is a really good question. I think I would kind of choose to answer in terms of the question that's been put, like what wakes you up in the morning?
Yeah.
What gives you a sense of purpose? I think saying is the greatest sense of meaning and purpose. I think just something that keeps me going is knowing when I'm just being involved in people's life. As you know, I was involved in student life last year, and that still is a big passion of mine. And I think finding out, and this took, I think, all 4 years of college really to discover some of my, if you want to put it, my calling, some of those gifts and passions that God's given me. And I think one is just being involved in young people's lives. And sometimes that's through a more formal mentoring relationship. Sometimes it's just through informal one-time conversations. But I think just being part of students' lives and helping to sorry, this is not coming out clearly. Just show God's love to them, like I said, whether that's through a relationship that's actually impacting their life and helping them figure out who they are and who they want to become. Or if it's just, giving advice and the little bit more life experience that I have, things I've learned myself and are now able to pass on to other people. That gives me a lot. I know that's kind of a long answer, but I think that really does give me a lot of purpose, is when I can see how God is using me in other people's lives.
Yeah, good answer.
Yeah.
My next question is, what is the best advice that you ever got from someone else about life? And did you take that advice, and how have you used it during your life?
That's, I would say advice I've been given, and I'm not sure it was in these specific words, that I've tried to take is just really enjoying where you are right now. I mean, you definitely have to plan for the future, and there are steps you have to take, things you have to consider for the next step. But I think just really learning to enjoy and be content in the roles, in the stage of life in which you find yourself, even if it's not exactly what you planned or what you thought you would be in. Learning to try to figure out why God's put you there, and what the positive aspects are in that, and learning to enjoy life through that, I think.
Yeah. Kind of a different topic. What are you doing now to promote good health in later life?
Yeah. Just trying to take care of myself physically is definitely one. Eating well. I know that when you're young, it can be easy to just do whatever you want, eat whatever you want, and think, I'll take care of myself later once health is a more prominent issue. But I think eating well, trying to sleep well and exercise are definitely a couple key parts of that.
Okay. Well. And my last question is, what are some of the things that you want to do before you die?
Oh, so many things. I would love to travel the world.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to visit a few countries, but when I was young, my grandparents were traveling the world for work, whether that was just visiting or living in other countries, and I would love to be able to do something like that. Yeah, I don't know what that would look like, but I would like at least to say that I've been on maybe almost every continent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.